Hello, welcome to the last and final part of my square drop build. In this part, I want to have this thing basically 98% done. There's still going to be little touches here and there that I have to do to it, add this, change that, etc. But for the most part, in this part, I want to get it ready to camp. In the last part, you guys saw that I finished this side, and now I'm going to be working on this side to finish that one. It's exactly the same as the other way, so there's no reason in showing this. And that's the other thing I have to do. Also, what I have to do is I gotta cut out the little portholes for the access hatch. And then in this part, I'm gonna paint this guy, primer it, Raptor line it. And I'm also thinking about removing these lights and going with a different setup, because I realize that if I have these lights here in travel, I can't really store nothing here and use this area. And it just feels like a wasted space, since I do want to get some of that weight off the tongue. It would help to be able to put a water jug or something there. And if I do that, the lights will be blocked. So I'm going to change them and mount some different types of lights onto the actual rear of the camper. But yeah, right now what I'm gonna do is, like I said, finish that part. And then I'm gonna sand this back end down because it still needs to be sanded. And then I'm gonna primer this guy and then paint it, and that should be it for the outside. And then I'm gonna jump in the inside. But alrighty, I'll check back in when more work is done. Okay, so I got this side installed. I sanded these panels down, that way they take the primer nicely and none of that stuff is on there anymore. There was a bunch of it looks like oxidation. I sanded all that down. I cut the holes out for the ports. I sanded this guy down. This guy is gonna go right there, and that's gonna get this screwed onto it. That way it's a nice bond, and because I really have nothing to screw up here too, so this will be perfect for that. I sanded that so I could take the primer. I'm in the process of sanding this other one down. That's gonna go on this side. This side didn't need it, but that way, so they're both sides match. I'm gonna do it like that anyways. But yeah, I'll check back in right now. Alrighty, so I got both of these compartments done. This is the way I did it. It's just aluminum sheet, and this is angle iron. That's flat bar, and it just basically goes all the way along. That's the little gap I had to fill right there, so it's a little piece of trim. Same thing over here. This is the back side, angle iron again. I had to redo this side with the angle iron. This stuff was a pain in the butt to drill through because of the aluminum. I wish I would have gone with aluminum, but I was just being cheap about it, and I bought steel. But anyways, that's part's done now. What I'm gonna do is finish sanding this back. I was able to get most of the stuff off using this brush here. So I'm gonna just continue doing that. I was gonna paint today, but the clouds started to come in and it started to rain a little bit, and it's getting a little windy, so I can't paint like that. So I'm just gonna have everything prepped for the next time so I could paint. But I'll check back in with you guys today or in a couple of days. Alrighty, so it's been a couple of days, and as you could tell, the camper is finally painted. I know I didn't really record it, but I was just in a hurry to get this done since we are going on a camping trip in about 4 days, and I want to just touch it up and get it just ready to use. But I'm walking you guys around so you guys could see how the Raptor Liner turned out. It was a pain in the butt to try to do it the first time. I think I did pretty good for the first time. I ended up using a full kit. I thought I was going to use half of a kit, but I'll walk you guys around. That's the way the back looks. I did not paint this hatch. That's going to be a different color. That one also. Here's more of the back. There is some spots that are a little bit more glossy than others, but I could live with that right now. I did remove all the doors to paint it. I did not remove the windows, but I did not have enough to do the roof. So the roof is still primered. This front part is kind of done, but not really. What I plan to do up here is I'm just gonna paint it white to try to keep some of the sun off of it if we ever go camping and we're in the sun. But that's it right there. It looks pretty nice. It definitely changes the look of it. What I'm doing right now is I am working on the kitchen. I placed these in for right now. I'm measuring out. First, I'm gonna build the bottom tray, and then after the tray is built, I'm gonna build up, and that will be the whole box. Here are the little pieces that I'm cleaning up right now, so I could weld them. So I'll check them back right now. All right, it's the next day, and here is the base for it. I don't really have any plans of how I'm doing this. I'm just kind of building it as I go. But so far, this is the bottom of the whole stove box that I'm working on. It slides in. I gotta do 2 hands. It slides out. And I could sit up here. I'm sitting up here. This is a 500-pound slide, so it feels pretty sturdy when I'm up there. I'm pretty sure I'm not gonna have any more than 100 pounds on that slide. So these are overkill. So right now what I'm trying to figure out is I'm trying to build up from this. I'm gonna finish welding off the corners. Everything's screwed in place for right now. That way it kind of holds with the weld and it doesn't pull together or apart or even twist. So I'm gonna do that. Then I'm gonna start building up, and then I need to finish all the welding here today and install the stove. And also I need to finish the roof rack today. And then tomorrow I'm gonna paint it and finish the wiring, and it'll be good to go. All right, I'll check back in right now. Alrighty, so this is what I've come up with so far. Here's the box for the stove. The stove is cutting it a little close right there. So if anything, I'm gonna have to trim these down. That way the stove sinks in a little bit more. But that's doable. Or I could just cut this guy off and just weld the smaller piece across that way, because I don't really need this big old piece right here. Anyways, that's all the way in. It pulls out. This is as far as it goes. Stove opens up. It's kind of in a weird spot for cooking, but it'll work because this is where I have to go, because it won't go in there. You close it up and then you push it back in. But I'm also gonna have another box come out of here with another table, so it'll be probably up to here of little prep space. And then the sink, I was gonna have it installed, but it's a removable sink, so I'm just gonna have it out and I can just place it wherever I want. But then to close it, and that's that. Alrighty, I'll check back in when I do more work. Alrighty, so I finished the top portion of the stove. Here it is installed. I trimmed out the 2 sides and the front. This is the front of the stove. The back, I'm just not gonna put any trim, so because you're not really gonna see it. I cut out the stainless steel so I could put the stove in. Then I had to weld these little corners here, that way they have something to grip onto. But there it is, opens up pretty nice. Back here it's kind of open because it could use a support bar down there, but I think I could just live with that since it'll be in the back. I already painted the box. Now what I'm doing is working on the second little box that comes out. This will be like a little box and like a little shelf for all the utensils and knives, and then maybe like another little prep table. But I just got finished painting this. It's kind of rough, but that's just it for right now. I just have to do this quick. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna drill holes right there. That way I can attach the box with bolts. That should be good. All right, so the kitchen is finally done. I ended up painting it, installing it. It's pretty decent for what I need. Stove right here, just like a little cooktop prep table right here. And then this, I don't know what to do with it yet. I'm either gonna put like a little bin with the utensils or something else. This was a little slide for a trash can that I just had laying around that I never used. So that works. I mean, I had it, so I just used it. I might change it up later, but I don't know yet. That's that. And then right here, I had to make these because it was getting really hard to open up the latches from in there. So I just made this little trigger mechanism. I was gonna make it go across, but in doing so, it would have interfered with that. So that didn't work. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna wrap some tape around this. That way, it's not sharp, or so I don't cut myself. But yeah, that's it so far. The kitchen for right now is done, ready to use. What I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna work on the roof rack. I'll check back in right now. Alrighty, so the camper is finally done. It's been about 2.5 weeks since that last little part you guys saw. That day, I mean, I was in a hurry because we were leaving on a camping trip the next day. So I stayed up really late and I got this camp ready, just exactly how it is right now. I finished the stove because that wasn't done. I still haven't done anything there. That's still the same way. This one, because I was such in a hurry, I didn't measure this right. So I had this piece would come out to over here. On the first time we took it out, I could not open the stove, so I couldn't use it. But right now it just fixed that. And then I put this little piece of aluminum right here, and that will keep the refrigerator from sliding out. This thing worked perfectly on the first trip. It cools up really quick and it doesn't use a lot of power. The good thing is on the first trip we were at a campsite with power, so I don't have any issues like that. So that's working out so far. But anyways, here's that's all the junk from when we went camping. That's done. As you can see up here, I made a roof rack and I mounted this awning. This is the Napa awning they're selling right now. I don't know if there's any more left or they're still selling them, but it did a really good job and it's a really high quality awning and I really like it. But yeah, here is the roof rack. As you can see, I was in a hurry. I didn't even paint that. I hardly even painted the top of the roof rack. I was in a hurry to get this guy done. So here's the way I mounted it. It's just flat bar. These holes were already here because it had some sort of plate right here in the corner. And I took that off and I just utilized these bolts. And it's pretty sturdy. It shakes the whole camper if I shake it. So let me walk you guys up here. As you could tell, I still haven't painted it because I still want to add to it. I want to add a couple more crossbars across and maybe put like some sort of steel mesh. That way I could put stuff up here. But that's it. That's pretty basic roof rack. Just flat bar and some square stock steel. Over here, we added some stickers there. But yeah, so it's basically ready to camp. The only electrical that I added was that little thing. That's for the USB ports. There's 2 USB ports that go inside. I'll show you guys that right now. Well, never mind, you can't see them, but back there's 2 USB port. One of them powers this light right here. This is an LED light strip that I just glued up here. It's glued and it's screwed on so it doesn't fall. It worked out really well because we could dim this like we want to. And this is that little thing, the little cable hide where the wires for the fan go. The wires over there, I still have to hide them. I still have to add more USB ports and more lights in this camper. I just it's bare bones right now. Everything that I need is there and working. I still have to trim out these windows. On all the windows, I have to trim that out. I have to figure out the trim around the doors. And I gotta trim this guy out here. And basically I have to do a better job with the door here. I trimmed it out, I have to do a better job. And then right here I have to figure something out, because when I screwed this back in, it punctured over here, so I have to figure out what to do in this little section. Kind of painted that door just with leftover paint. These were the compartments that I didn't have enough Raptor Liner to do in, so I just did them black for now. But eventually I'm gonna buy more of this Raptor Liner, and I'm gonna do these black. I'm gonna do this guy black, and then I'm gonna touch up any area that I have that's kind of ugly, like down here and right here. I kind of missed it. I just have to do some touch-ups. But yeah, guys, this would be the completion of the square drop. Like I said, it's camp ready right now. We already used it. We had a great time. It did really good. It towed straight it's kind of, it feels a little heavy, so whenever it would bounce, it would just plant back down and it wouldn't sway or nothing. So I really like the way it came out. Stay tuned. I'm gonna be adding more to this. Like I didn't say this, but I want to add some sort of box here. I want to touch up things here and there. I'm gonna finish off the roof rack, and then I'm gonna keep wiring it. But yeah, guys, if you guys like this project, please subscribe. I'm gonna keep doing more projects here eventually. So thank you guys for tuning in and for watching my build as I go. Thank you guys.